Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. I think we will give it another minute or so for others to join. More have signed up.
Mooier.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining. I think we can get started. There may be a few others joining later that may have registered. Just quickly looking at the list here. Okay, we'll get started. Welcome, everyone. My name is Robbie Nieuwlaat. I'm an associate professor at McMaster University in Hamilton, Ontario, in Canada. I'm the co-director of the INGUIDE program together with Dr. Holger Schönemann. And I'm also on the steering committee for the program and one of the instructors and course designers. So you can ask me any questions today about the specific courses before the GIN conference, as well as any questions for INGUIDE in general. Before we get to your questions, I first want to walk you through a few slides, just to make sure you have the basic information about the pre-GIN conference courses. And then we can take any of your questions and discuss things with the whole group. So let me share my screen here. Okay, just making sure. Can you see this? Dina, can you see it?
Yes, we can see it.
Thank you. And also to clarify, so Dina is the INGUIDE coordinator, so she's also here to support. And you will probably be in touch with her when you join INGUIDE or you sign up for the courses. I'll put it in presentation mode. There you go. All right, just also quickly checking the chat here. Okay, so today we'll give you a bit of the background information about the pre-GIN conference courses for INGUIDE. As you can see here, the full name is International Guideline Training and Certification Program. And today we're going to talk about the courses we will deliver in advance of the GIN conference in Geneva. Some of you may already be familiar with some of the information about INGUIDE. I'll walk you through it anyway, so everybody's on the same page. And again, there you can ask questions. So just as some examples, so typically, or most of our courses, or most times that we offer our courses, they are given online. But we also have given them quite a few times in person now. And so we can do both. It can be in person, online, or hybrid. And here you can see some examples. So, for example, at the GIN conference in 2023 in Glasgow, we gave these courses also before the GIN conference. You can see the whole group here that attended for the different courses. And the same thing last year for the Global Evidence Summit in Prague. And again, here you can see the whole group for the various courses that we delivered. And if you look carefully, you may see my face here and there, but it may not be obvious. Here you can see one occasion where we gave training to a group that is affiliated with World Health Organization, and this training was given in Tanzania. You can see here the whole group, and you can see in the middle up front Holger Schunemann, who's also the co-director of the program, and he's leading our steering committee. And here the most recent opportunity we had was give a training at Humanitas University in Milan. And you can see here the group that took that training. So we also have quite a bit of experience now with delivering these courses in person to larger groups. Of course, the next one that you are interested in is the pre-GIN conference courses for Geneva this year. And the photos, of course, are to follow. So INGUIDE is the world's first comprehensive structured training and certification program for guideline development and implementation methods and practice. The program was started in 2020. Of course, we were preparing it well before that, but it was officially started in 2020. And it is a joint venture between Guidelines International Network and McMaster University's Department of Health Research Methods, Evidence and Impact, where I and the team are situated. Over the years, now since 2020, we've bolstered our leading role as a guideline training program and certification program. And we've had quite a few achievements to grow into this role. And we've received some recognition and also have commitment to excellence, capacity building for advancing health guideline quality worldwide. So part of our aim is to not just train people, but train people worldwide. So everywhere guideline development practice will be elevated and meet certain standards. Part of this is that we also, as a program, are ISO certified. So this is a quality management system. So all of our processes, SOPs, everything we do follows a certain quality management system to ensure consistency and a certain standard. So here you can see the courses we will offer before the GIN 2025 conference. You can see here we have 3. So initially we advertised for 4. The 4th course was the one for to become an INGUIDE instructor, so course 4. We have taken that off the scheduling because we didn't have any registrants yet. So we had to make a decision whether we wanted to go ahead or not. So that course is not on offering as pre-GIN conference course anymore. Of course, if you're interested in that, you can still sign up for one of the usual offerings that may be online or other opportunities. But here now we have 3 courses that you could join. So Certified Guideline Panel Member, which is course 1, in combination with a module that we've developed for adultment. And I'll explain a bit more about that. But it's really introductory guideline development methods and covering select domains of the GIN McMaster checklist. The second course, course 2, is certified to become a certified guideline methodologist. So with that course, you become specialized in all methods, all steps that are involved in guideline development. And the third course is certified lead guideline developer and chair. And here you will be trained you will gain experience to lead groups in terms of guideline development. As a chair or a lead, there may be different terms that are being used for that. So just to reiterate some of the main objectives for each of these courses. So for the Certified Guideline Panel Member Adultment course, you will understand the evidence-based methods to developing practice guidelines based on the relevant topics and steps from the GIN McMaster checklist. Not all of them may be relevant for guideline panel members. And you will understand the development approach to adopting, adapting, and developing recommendations. For the second course, you will, as methodologist, you will understand and describe the evidence-based methods to developing practice guidelines based on the entire Jim McMaster checklist and all the steps involved in such a guideline development effort. And you will apply these methods, this knowledge and your skills with experiential requirements to get certified. For the certified lead guideline developer and chair, you will learn to lead a guideline panel to reach consensus on recommendations for health questions and deal with challenging scenarios. So this is a bit more about the leading role and the soft skills that come with it. And also here, there will be experiential requirements to get certified, whereby you need to apply your evidence-based methods and the knowledge and skills that you learned in practice. Here you see more details per course. Perhaps I won't spend too much time on this, but of course we can come back to it if you have questions about it. But there are prerequisites, so not for the first course, of course, but as a methodologist, you need to have completed the first course for guideline panel members. And for certified lead guideline developer and chair, so what we call course 3, you will need to have completed the previous 2. So each course built on the previous ones. I think we've already touched on what the courses are about. All are delivered either online, in person, or a combination. And of course, pre-Gen conference courses will be delivered completely in person. Some of the work involves some preparation, and I'll get to that. And as I mentioned, to get certified for course 1, you simply complete the course plus the quizzes. But for course 2 and 3, there are experiential requirements whereby you need to apply your knowledge and skills that you've learned as a methodologist or a chair in practice. And based on those experiential requirements, you will get certified. So here you can see when they will be offered. Hopefully you're already familiar with that, but you can see that the first course plus development will be on Tuesday, September 16th throughout the whole day. And the other 2 courses are delivered in 1.5 days. So it starts on September 15th already in the afternoon, and then also all of Tuesday. Just to make sure that you are aware, it does not overlap with the GIN scheduling. The first GIN session after that will be, I think, right after that or an hour after these courses finish. Here you can see some of the preparation that you will need to do per course. Of course, you need to register in advance. You can see the course costs here. Of course, you need to be aware of that. There are the costs that are usual costs, and you can see what the costs are if you are a GIN member, because then you get a 15% discount. These costs are a bit higher than what you may see on the INGUIDE website as the usual prices, because now for in-person delivery, we need to book rooms and we'll have lunch and coffee and things like that. So that's included in these prices. And in terms of preparation for these courses, you don't have to do anything in advance for course 1 and development, and also not for the certified lead guideline developer and chair. However, for the certified guideline methodologist course 2, you will need to complete some online modules and associated quizzes before you come to the pre-Gen conference course. And this will take about a total of 6 hours, I believe, to do that online in advance. So here's some benefits of attending the courses in person. Of course, you can maximize your learning. I've seen in some of the previous occasions, as I showed you, that it's very helpful to be in person in a group in terms of interaction and learning from others, a little bit more than when you're online. So you can engage directly with the instructors and other guideline development experts. You can participate in live discussions, and it's very easy to ask questions and give your own examples. And you can benefit from real-time feedback and a deeper understanding of the course content, because also you will discuss some things maybe during breaks or afterwards with the people you meet there. Further, you can expand your network and especially your global or your international network. You can connect with your peers, guideline developers from around the world. You can build relationships perhaps for future guideline work and research related to that. And of course, you learn to apply international methods. Finally, so you will earn your INGUIDE certification, so you can, you make the first step towards certification by completing these courses. You will still have your experiential requirements to submit for course 2 and 3 as a methodologist or as a chair. And of course, you can boost your CV with those certifications and accelerate your eligibility for advanced roles, next steps in your career, for example. So as a final slide, before we get to your questions, here is some explanation about how and where you can register. Hopefully you've already seen it, but if not, then this lays it out where you can find this. And for any questions, you can reach out to our team, so Dina and Hussein and myself as well, to the inguide@mcmaster.ca email. And you can, of course, also find information on our website. I'll just show you this. This is the link for the registration, just to make sure you can see what it looks like. So if you go to this website for the registration, this is what you'll find. There's a button here, register here, and then here you can see all the options. So there are 6 options because one is for the usual price, one is with the gin discount. You can indicate your number of course registrations you want to purchase, and then you'll take it from there. And again, our team can support you if there are any complications or any questions that you have in the process. Okay, so I'll leave it at that. This is some introductory information. Hope this was clear and informative for everybody here, but yeah, feel free to ask your questions. Maybe you can raise your hand if you have a question, and then I'll go by the hands. I don't see any hands yet. Just checking if you are comfortable with it. Feel free to share your camera so we can see also who's on the call here. Always good to see people. I only see myself right now, so feel free to do that. Camilo, go ahead.
Hi, Robbie. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Thank you. Thanks for the information, but I want to review again the slide with the prerequisites or something. Yeah, maybe this one. Yes, because for the first, thank you.
Yeah, let me know what questions you have about this. It may not be complete.
Related to the prerequisites. Because I never been in this kind of courses, but I want to review the prerequisites in these slides. Thank you for your information. It's not a question, it's just I want to confirm the information in this slide. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Thank you, Camilo. Yeah, no, I hope it's clear for these 3 courses. It again, each builds on the previous one. So for course 2 here, you'll need to have completed the guideline panel member course. For the certified lead guideline developer and chair, you will have to have completed the course for methodologist. I do want to mention this is not provided at the GIN conference, but we do have a course now for chairs that is more aimed at content or clinical chairs. So people who may not want to be trained or have the time to be trained in all of the methods. So they may not go to course 2. We do have a short course to become a clinical/content chair that's a 4-hour course. So basically a very condensed version of the chair course for that group to also be trained as a chair, again, without having to know all the methods. So they would typically work with a methodologist who's fully aware of all the steps. just letting you know that that's also available from the INGUIDE program. But again, we're not offering that at the GIN conference. Let me check the chat here. Okay, question here from, let's make sure, yeah, from Lauren. Thank you, Lauren. If you want to speak up and tell me the question or the question to the whole group, feel free to do it. But for now, I'll read this one from the chat.
Yeah, I'm happy to
Yeah, go
ask.
ahead.
Yeah, sorry. Thanks for the presentation. It was really great. I'm just, I guess, curious as to the levels of these courses, not maybe the levels, but the order of these courses. I would have thought that the methodologist course is required, or would be, you know, the most in depth, and therefore would be having the other two courses as prerequisites. But I think maybe that feeds on from what you were just saying. How there you can have a topic specialty for the chair who is not necessarily the methodologist or who is working with the methodologist. Could you just speak a little bit more about that?
Yeah, no, that's
Thank
fine.
you.
Thanks, Lauren. And happy to explain that because I know many organizations have somewhat different terms or structures of how they train people to be involved in guideline development or what names they give to the roles. So I'm happy to clarify that. So as a methodologist, you would be knowledgeable about all the steps in guideline development. So we follow the Gin McMaster checklist, but of course, then for each of the steps or for many of the steps, we look at the grade methodology and agree and everything that comes with guideline development at various steps, as well as all the tools that you can use. So as a methodologist, you are aware of all of that, and you should be able to explain it to a guideline panel or a guideline panel member. The idea of the certified lead guideline developer and chair is that this is really an expert building on a methodologist course, so they do know and can apply all the methods. But as well, in addition to that, they are able to lead a group, to get consensus, to manage a group, to deal with difficult situations. So more of the soft skills. So previously we called it the third course a master guideline developer. So this is really, if you've completed that, you're somebody who can basically lead a group on your own because you know all the methods, you know how to manage a group, and you don't necessarily need to work with a methodologist. While if you don't have that training, but you're a clinical chair or content chair, you still need to work with a fully trained methodologist to make sure you follow all the steps properly in terms of methodology. So I hope that clarifies it a bit. Is that clearer, Lauren?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I guess I was just interested in the content specialty versus the methodologist, but this would be someone that is able to do both effectively.
Yeah, so if you've completed this course and you're certified for course 3, you would be able to lead a group on your own pretty much for any health topic. It doesn't necessarily have to be in your own health area expertise. You will be able to do that in terms of methodology, in terms of leading a group for any health topic. That's the idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lovely, thank you.
Thank you, Lauren. Great question. Any other questions or clarifications? Even if they're practical questions, feel free to ask those as well. Or perhaps if you're attending to learn more, as you're thinking to sign up maybe multiple people from your organization, if you have any questions related to that, so signing up a group, also go ahead and ask about that, or reach out to us afterwards, of course, if you want. Go ahead, Lauren.
Sorry, another question. If we're unable to join at this particular upcoming meeting in Geneva, when would you foresee the next opportunity to be able to participate in the training, even if it is virtually?
Thanks, Lauren. So we have regular course scheduling. So this one that we're talking about here primarily is indeed associated with the GIN conference. But we run, for example, course 2 training online. We run it pretty much every month. Once you've registered for the course, you can go into our platform, Avenue to Learn. That's the learning management system that we use. You will see dates that these courses are scheduled, and you can sign up for them. So we have that for course 2, methodologist, as well as for course 3, the certified lead, guideline developer, and chair. For the first course, for guideline panel member and also the development module, they are completely online. So if you sign up for it, you can just do it at your own convenience, so to say. You don't have to join a live session if you do it, separate from the GIN conference. Just for the GIN conference, we combined the guideline panel member course with the development module because it's a good combination. And in this case, it will be delivered, all of it, of course, in person.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lauren.
I have a question if it's okay.
Go ahead, Nathalie.
Is there a way to skip, for example, the first course based on years of experience?
Thank you, Nathalie. Good question. We've received it previously. So the thing with starting a program like this is, again, it's the first in the world, right? That is providing standardized training in guideline development as well as certification. All of us, of course, some of us have had to develop the courses to get started somewhere. But everybody we work with goes through all the courses because if you want to be able to lead a group or be involved as a methodologist or lead a group as a chair, of course, then you have to know all the methods and how to manage a group, but you also have to understand what your guideline panel members know and what kind of training they've gone through. I assume typically you would give them some information or training so you know exactly what they know, what they may not know. So by going through the first course, you will have that basic understanding and you know sort of the structure of how we work, but also maybe more importantly, you will know what your guideline panel members, what they've been trained with, so what kind of knowledge they have. So that's why we require everybody to go through this. And again, nobody has skipped any steps except perhaps for the first few of us that had to design the courses, right? But we have a lot of experienced instructors that have gone through all of it, from NICE, from ACP, other organizations. And just to clarify, the first course is about, I would say, if you're experienced, it probably doesn't take you very long. It's probably about 2 to 3 hours to go through the modules and complete the quizzes. So it's self-paced. You can do it. This one is, of course, in person before the GIN conference. But if you don't do this one, but you would do it online, it would be 2 to 3 hours. At your own pace.
Yeah, my question was more from a practical perspective. I've been doing this for a European organization for 9 years already as the lead and methodologist and all the functions in one. But I don't think that my manager would agree to pay the fees for all the courses while the advantage of taking them is not clear from the start. That's just why I was asking.
Okay, well, I hope I explained why it would be an advantage if you're thinking to train your guideline panel members as well. Just to make sure, so we can go back to the costs as well, right? I assume you're mainly interested then in getting trained as a methodologist and then perhaps as the chair. Is that correct?
My interest is more of from the perspective that we are currently we have our own manual and methodology of guideline development, and we're currently looking into updating our manual and looking out there what are the things that we are missing and what are strategies that we can implement ourselves to make the process easier. And from that perspective, it would be interesting for me to follow the course. But then yeah, starting from the beginning would not be that interesting. I hope I express myself clearly.
No, I think I understand what you're saying. Thanks, Natalie. I would say if that's what you're thinking, our courses are designed for, based on let's say accepted international methodologies that may apply to any organization. So it's definitely good to look at your own development methodology, take a step back and look at what's, let's say, currently the best practice in guideline development and make some changes based on that. I think part of that should be to reconsider or evaluate how you are training your guideline panel members. And so for that, again, also it would be very helpful to look at the first course to see if that is something you want to give to your guideline panel members to get everybody a same or similar understanding of the methodology. I get it in terms of that you have to try to convince your manager, and maybe others may have to do the same. But if you look at if it's a cost issue, you can see here, right? So if you would like to do the methodology course, adding the first course, the guideline panel member course, which is less if you don't necessarily if you do it online. I have to look at Dina now.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, what's the exact
So I
cost
just
of that?
wanted to add some, yeah, thank you, Robbie. So, Natalie, if you're interested, like to attend the Certified Guideline Methodologist in Geneva, and the prerequisite is course 1, you can do it online, and the cost is much less because in Geneva we add, as Robbie mentioned, the networking and the catering fees. So I just put here the link of the online course 1, and also in Geneva in the GIN conference we're doing course 1 and a development, right? So it's like the course 1 and an add-on module. So if you'd like to do the online course, these are the costs. Thank you.
Thank you, Dina, for explaining. Yeah, so that's what you could do then in that case, Natalie. And you can see if you first do that online before you come to Geneva for the methodologist course, for example, you can see here the cost for the online version of the guideline panel member course. It's not a lot extra, right? If you are, let's say, paying 2,000 for the methodologist course. So maybe that helps you explain that to the manager. And it does have value for you to see all the courses again, to understand how you may want to standardize or improve the training of all the people you get involved with in guideline development, which is mainly your guideline panel members.
Okay, thank you very much.
And if you still have questions, feel free to reach out afterwards as well, and we can maybe explain a bit more or help you make that case. Great, thank you, Natalie. Any other questions? Okay, it looks like there are no more questions. But again, reach out to us anytime, also by email afterwards. Perhaps what we can do is we can stay on for a few more minutes here. So Dina and I can stay. Feel free, if you've had your information, if you had your questions answered, feel free to leave. We don't have to fill the full hour. I know we scheduled an hour, but we don't have to fill it. Of course, if you still want to think about questions or you do have questions, you can stay, of course. But otherwise, yeah, feel free to go on to do other things and get in touch with us as needed. Thank you, Teresa, for joining. Thank you, Lauren. Great, and thank you, Natalie. Just going to check because you're still here, Marion or Homa, if you have a question.
Hi, just a very quick and simple question. Who we have to contact for the, we call it acknowledgement form, something like this? 'Cause I personally finished with the guideline 1 and 2. And for going to the 3, what should I do?
Okay, thank you, Homa. Let's see if I understand it correctly. Let me also show my slides again. So in terms of acknowledgement, do you mean to meet the requirements to be certified?
Yes.
Okay. So for the first course, you just finish you do the course, you answer some quiz questions, and then you are certified. So that one is, let's say, relatively simple. Then for the other two, so let's take the methodologist course that you would do after that. You will have to do some online modules and quizzes before you come to the course at the GIN conference. But then once you've completed the course at the GIN conference, afterwards, you will still need to submit 3 experiences that show that you were a methodologist or a trainee methodologist on a guideline development project. And how this works is that a person you worked with, so maybe the guideline chair or somebody from the organization, fills in an evaluation form for you for that experience, and they send it to us. And then we look at whether it meets the requirements as an experience that counts towards your certification as a methodologist. Now, to clarify, these experiences can be obtained, of course, going forward after your training, prospectively. But if you already have experience, you may be able to also submit that for guidelines you've already been involved with in the past, so retrospectively, if they meet the requirements. Also, the form will show what questions we're asking from the evaluators. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
The third part that you mentioned, I finished a few guidelines before, but at that time I didn't know that you have to go through the acknowledge form and ask the chair to fill it out. But now at the moment I'm doing 2 parallel guidelines, almost finished. What is the situation right now? Should I send you the guideline that published before, or?
So I think so our team can explain maybe in an email. It's a bit more complete, so they will send you the information how this works. But I'll explain it in summary here. Typically, when you register for the course, then you will, you're scheduled to attend the course. Once you've completed your course, so just training, then you will receive links from our team to share with your evaluators. So again, a chair or somebody from the organizations to fill in the experiential form for you. And this can be for a current project or an ongoing or a new project that's coming, but it can also be for one that's already completed. So again, they fill in the evaluation form. It doesn't necessarily require a scientific publication, but it it does need to show that you were involved as a methodologist and you were involved or leading certain parts of the guideline development process.
Okay. Yep. Thank you. And is there any website that I can reach to this form to give it to the chair?
So again, when you've completed the course, you will receive the links to those forms. But if you really want to receive it in advance to have an idea of what's in there, Dina and our team, they can share the PDF version of the form so you know what's required. Do keep in mind that once you've completed your course, we do expect them to provide this online. So we still, because we have certain procedures, we have to make sure we record everything using a standardized process. So they will still have to submit it, but we can share the form now already, so you have an idea of what's required, what kind of questions are asked.
Thank you. It was a very comprehensive explanation. I may email Dina.
Yeah, that's great. And Dina, can you just to make sure, put again the INGUIDE email address in the chat?
Yes, I
you did.
just put it.
Oh, you put it there.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was very, very helpful.
Thank you, Homa. Thank you for joining and your questions.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. And let's see, so we still have Mario here. Mario, do you have a question?
No, not really. Am I the only one left? Or
I believe so. So further is
Okay.
Dina and the Jin note taker. So yeah, just checking if
Okay.
you have any questions, go ahead.
No, thank you. I joined in late. I saw the email a bit late, so I'll try to catch up next time.
Okay, what we can do, Mario, if you joined later, you may have missed my presentation at the beginning.
Yes, I did.
I think we will share, Dina, can you confirm we can share the link to the presentation or to the slides, right?
Yes, we can. And we are also doing another presentation later this week on Thursday at 6 p.m. ET. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll join on Thursday then.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Super. Thank you very much.
Great, thank you, Mario.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Okay, then I think we can wrap up this session and we'll have another session on Thursday. Can you remind me, Dina, what's the time again?
It's at 6 p.m. ET.
Eastern time. Yeah, right.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Great. Thank you. Yeah, I think we can stop this
Yeah.
session for now then.
Okay. Thank you, Robbie.
Thank you, Dina.
Bye-bye. Bye.